Do you know what? It's actually good to have you on here before you get famous.
Do you think?
Yeah, because I think I have a problem with famous people.
Why?
Yeah, so I think if it was famous,
Why do you
I
have
wouldn't.
a problem with famous people?
I
I'm
don't-
gonna become famous.
I don't actually know.
Actually, I do want to become famous.
Yeah. Would you rather have fame or money?
Fame or money?
Yeah.
I'd rather have money, but it depends on what. It's like, it's crazy because, you know, for boxing, I want to go in the Olympics more than become a pro boxer, right? And Olympics is more fame, less money, because they usually like pay for your, like they fundraise for you, they sponsor you when you go Olympics. But a pro boxer, so let's say like AJ or something, gets more P's than Nicola Adams, even though they're both boys and girls. Like, I mean, they're both boy and a girl. Do you get where I'm coming from? But he will still get more P's than Nicola Adams. Do you get where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I get that.
But from that, that's how you get money, by basically, let's say, being advertised in some stuff. You know, like everything you do when you're like an Olympian is just being sponsored.
Yeah.
Everything, like you're getting sponsored by Nike, Gymshark, all that. You just get sponsored. You just get sponsored, and you just get fame.
But that's what I was gonna say. Like, don't you think fame can generate money?
Yes, but it's like the way you get to fame, you don't get money from it. You have to kind of convert your fame to money. Like, you have to use your fame to get money, if that makes sense. So
No, that makes perfect sense.
You have to like post on Instagram. You have to do all these extra stuff to get recognized. Whereas, let's say other people who are, let's say, doing like boxing for money, like getting about like 30, 20K or to like a million.
Yeah.
That's for being like a pro. But you're not going to get that if you go Olympics. You're not going to get that if they try. You get where I'm coming from? You're not going to get that if you're just trying to get the fame.
Yeah. Do you know what I like about what you said? You said you have to convert fame into money. And then do you know what's really interesting? And then I was thinking, like, actually, like, you can also convert money into fame. So like, you can use money to make someone famous, you know, to advertise them and so on, and that fame can create more money. And then it hit me in my head. I was thinking, there's a lot of people that do that. So there's people that use the money, and obviously those people are not famous, like they're kind of behind the scenes. And they use money to use other people as to make them famous, to generate more money.
Yeah, but for that part, you have to work really hard. Do you get where I'm coming from? I feel like that comes to the next question, that you can easily get more money from fame first, right? Than having more money first to become famous.
Yeah.
Does that mean you get where I'm coming from?
But then someone that made money from becoming famous and had no money before that, they'll probably end up paying people that helped him or helped her become famous.
Yeah, but the probability of them getting famous is a risk. Do you get me? But with the fame, it's kind of like there's a lower risk for getting money. Do you get me? Because you already got the fame ready.
Yeah.
Now people will pay you to do a lot of things because you got the fame.
Yeah.
But you want to get a lot of people to do things for you for money. If you get covered, like, yeah, you can pay people, understandable. But when it comes to fame, it's hard. It's a big risk. You can spend millions and millions on trying to get a whole YouTube channel up, create a whole podcast, and you have to have the patience. You have to have patience. You have to have the patience. Yeah. But with fame, it's like you don't have to have the patience, because you'll always get something. With fame comes money.
Yeah.
But like I said, let's say in the example of being an Olympian, the fame comes from people asking for you to do this, that, this. Do you get money from winning a fight in the Olympics?
I don't know. Probably, do you know what you said before? Like, people that get sponsorships, I think, you know, in some way, like, that will create, you know, generate money. You know, they become like a image for other people and stuff. So yeah, I think you can do. So before you introduce yourself, we love asking a guest like a funny or silly kind of question when you come on at the beginning. So the funny question is, I guess it's not that funny, but would you rather be colorblind or lose taste?
Oh, I'm I'd rather be I'd rather be colorblind. Actually, I don't know, because I like to eat everything, so it doesn't exactly matter. But I love food, so I'd rather be colorblind.
Okay.
But that was a good question.
Like me and Aladdin had a conversation before you got here, and it was like she's definitely gonna say that she'd rather be colorblind because she loves food.
I love
you love
food
cooking as well.
I
innit?
love it so much.
Yeah.
But you know why I was a bit like hesitant is because I love food and I can eat everything and anything. You get where I'm from, so it's like taste wouldn't bother me much, but now saying it doesn't exactly make sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you guys? What about you?
What about me? Yeah, I think you know what? I think I'd rather lose taste.
Really?
Yeah, because it wouldn't matter anyway. It's like it's just just eat whatever.
Yeah, that's why I was a bit hesitant because you just eat whatever.
Because I like seeing things, innit? So I think
I mean, colorblind. Did you know colorblind happens mainly in men? Actually, majority. I think only in men.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
They have a gene that can cause colorblindness.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's really. I didn't know that. How'd you find that out?
Oh, because I think I learned it in science once, and my uncle also has it. And I did some research, and there's not many women have it. It's like probably a 1%.
Yeah.
Or it's really, really, really rare. But yeah, fun fact.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. So yeah, how do you want to introduce yourself? Just for people that are listening and watching.
Okay. So my name is Athena. I'm 19 years old, and I'm working to become I'm already an amateur boxer. I'm working to become more than that. Not just amateur, but go further into it.
To become a world champion.
To become a world champion or more.
Definitely. I can see you doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do you know what, in a weird way, what do you think about, because obviously you do boxing and stuff, what do you think about consistency?
Oh, consistency is key. I think a lot of people haven't got to where they are now because of the lack of consistency. Like, yeah, you can say, oh, I don't have the motivation, blah, 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 or this and that. But that's the biggest, BS I've ever heard. What someone told me, before motivation comes discipline. And with discipline comes with consistency. And you have to be consistent, or the most lightest thing can go wrong. Because with consistency, your passion builds and your passion grows, and you get more hungry. You just want it more because you've been consistent for a very long time. Why give up now? And obviously, there are people who have been consistent, and when they fall apart, like after a year, they do feel a bit crap. They do feel like, oh, now how am I going to get that back? Because the coming back is the hardest part, unless you have a miracle, For me, I've always been consistent, always, even throughout the whole lockdown, I've been consistent. But it depends on everyone's goals and needs. My one was like, I just did not want to get unfit. Like, I still want to be fit. I still want to stay sharp. I still want to be the person who I was. That's what was my main goal, because I worked so hard for the past 4 years to stay fit. Why am I going to let lockdown just take it away from me?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to ask you. So how do you think you differentiate from other people? Because obviously for some people, lockdown has been the biggest barrier from staying fit and doing other stuff. And it seems like you just you didn't let that stop you. So what do you think the difference is, and what separates you from other people?
I guess it's mentality. I think everyone has different mentalities, and everyone has different goals. So depending on what your goal is, really depends on your mentality. So because my goal is kind of very long term, that's why I stay more consistent. But then there are people who have short term goals, and with that, consistency falls apart. Yeah. So I mean, but can you still be consistent and have a short-term goal? You can be consistent, but the short-term goal really depends. Like if you make, so there are obviously two different types of people. You make long-term goals, or you break them apart into short-term goals, right? And with the short-term goals, you become more, I guess, happier because you get to your goal quicker than the long-term, right? But once you complete the short-term, you're kind of like, oh yes, I got there. Yeah, cool. I can chill now. Do you know where I'm from? And I'm not gonna lie, that has been me sometimes. Like, oh, like I want to get to 60 kg. I get to 60 kg, right? In like a week or something, right?
Yeah.
I get too happy and then I completely just fall apart.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, long term works for me. So I was like, oh, I want to become like 58, 60 in like this time. That's how I stay consistent throughout. And within that, I don't fall apart.
Yeah.
You get where I'm from?
So what's more important? Is it the journey or the goal? For you?
For me, I think, can I say both?
Yeah, you can say what
I
you
can
want.
say, I was say.
Yeah.
I think that is a tricky question because a lot of people say, oh, the journey, right? But technically, without the goal in your mind, you wouldn't have the journey. So I would say the goal is more important because you can fall apart during your journey if that goal isn't in your head 24/7. If that goal literally goes away, falls apart any time of the day, there's a big possibility for you to break down.
Yeah.
You get where I'm coming from? And that's why I'll say the goal is more important. If you remember and you keep consistent with what you want, what you're trying to get out of this, you'll be more disciplined, you'll be more motivated. Whereas with the journey, if you forget the goal for even 1 second, you can actually fall apart and give up very easily.
Does that mean that I'm broken because I don't have a goal? I just do things and hope it goes good. Like I feel like I'm very consistent in what I do, and every time I do things, like if I love it and I enjoy it, I'm mad consistent. But at the end of the day, I don't have any goal. I just want to do things because it's fun.
But let's say for you, you have like your din edits, right?
That's dead, but you're gone.
Yeah, but you have it, right? And when you started a video, right, you have a goal to finish it, right? You got a goal to edit it. You got a goal to like complete and then post it, right? There must have been days where you have been a bit tired overnight, sleepless nights where you're like, oh, I just want to stop.
That's the mad thing. The only times I do videos where I'm up late are two situations. One, deadline, and two, I'm enjoying it too much.
Passion.
Yeah, passion. Either I have a client and I have a deadline, I need to have it done before tomorrow, that's why I'm up so late, whatever. Or I'm up late and I'm tired, yeah, cool, but this is my video. So I get to choose when I get to post it. I get to choose when I get to finish it. I don't have no deadlines for my own stuff. So when I'm up late, it's like, the only reason why I'm up late is because I actually enjoy doing this. Like, oh, I want to do this part. I want to see what I was doing. Like, there's always something new and exciting to do. You feel me? So when it comes to like goals, maybe I have short-term goals. Like maybe I want to finish it before tonight, or because there are times where I just like my deadline's next week, but I want to finish it tomorrow, kind of thing. But in terms of like long-term goals, I don't know. I don't think you need a goal to be dedicated.
I think even for short-term or long-term journeys or like goals, I still feel like the goal is more important than the journey. Even short-term, even if it's a day goal, right? The journey in that whole day, I feel like the goal is still more important.
I think we're in disagreement with that one, but
but then don't you think? So I'm not gonna. I think just people just have a different way of looking at stuff. So, but don't you think that the journey will kind of like create the goal? It's almost like, you know, if you're getting ready for a fight, like it's the training that will get you the goal for the fight, not the actual fight itself, right?
Even like whilst you're in the journey, new goals are getting created, right? So as you're in the journey, you're creating new goals, and it's like, I mean, yeah, it's like I kind of understand what you mean about how the goal is important because it gives you an overview of the reasons for your actions. So like everything I'm doing right now is for this specific thing, but as you're on your way to the journey, you see a tree to the left or you see a plant to the right, and kind of thing. And those are those mini goals that you set yourself that might be short-term goals or even bigger goals that go past the main one that you've dedicated your time to, kind of thing.
That's true, but without that initial goal, would you even start the journey?
Yes.
But how?
I don't have a goal.
But that's the thing. Do you have a specific long-term goal? No, you don't. Your technically your goal is just to basically live life the way how it's like,
Yeah.
and you've been doing it.
Do you think that
But
counts?
then do you think?
And with that mentality, you're going through with it. With that mentality
is
of
that my
like
goal?
living
My
life,
goal
living
is to have
great,
fun.
you're doing it.
Do you think you have a goal, but you haven't realized what your goal is yet?
See, now I'm slowly starting to realize that I might actually have a goal, because you're trying to say that if my aim is to have fun and do everything, enjoy, that counts as a goal.
That is a goal.
If that counts as a goal, then therefore I have
That's
a
what
goal.
I'm trying to say.
But it's like, I don't know, this is my definition of goal is very different to other people's, isn't it? Like everyone has their own perspective on different words. But
Yeah, I mean
that's-
England would agree with that. 2-0.
England English.
England and Germany 2-0. You know, they had a goal. They had 2 goals actually. But I don't know who had a goal. Was it England or?
I find it so cute. I find it so adorable when Leo talks about football, because he knows absolutely nothing about what he's
I
talking
think
about.
Germany had 2. No, England had 2 goals.
Do you know what you're on about?
Huh?
England scored twice in the second half.
Yeah,
Make
but
a
this
point.
is coming out like a week late anyway. So people
Make a
won't
point.
ever
What was
see
the
it
point you're
later.
trying to make?
That was the point that England had a goal twice,
Oh,
and they enjoyed the journey.
And what made them get that goal? Because they were so determined, that they wanted to shoot that score.
Yeah, but I think
didn't care about
this
the
is the
journey.
thing. So I think you're determined. So this is what I want to touch on. And I think, do you know what it is? I think regardless of what age someone is at, like anyone can learn anything from anyone. You know, as long as you look at them from for what they do rather than how old they are and stuff. Because obviously what's within you is like that's what you have within you. And if I can look at you and get inspired by that, that's incredible. So I think without trying to put you in, I'm not putting you in a box because you're more than that, but just I feel like in terms
Put
of
me in an aeroplane.
Well, I feel like
Put me in an aeroplane then. But I don't know where an airplane came from.
no, but what I mean is like obviously so you're a Muslim female fighter, right? That's a box anyways. But I'm not putting you in a box, but that's something that people would stereotype you in, like, and I feel like sometimes that might be an adversity that you maybe had over. If I'm wrong, correct me. But what's that been like? And have you had any sort of like people saying stuff? What's your experience with that? If you had one.
Well, it's crazy because there isn't many of us, like, especially in England, there isn't many of us, right? And it's crazy because a lot of people would say a lot of things, saying that, why are you doing this? You get me? And like, it's a good thing, don't get me wrong, but like, what's your reason to do this? Like, you do know that you can't become pro. You do know you can't do this because of certain beliefs. And it's been quite a journey. Having different people saying different stuff, people allowing you to do this, allowing you to do that. Certain stuff I can't do, certain stuff I can do.
Yeah.
Like I should try not to freak mix. I should try not to spar guys. I should try not to do this.
What do you tell them?
What do I tell them? I am.
Tell them to fuck
It's
off.
usually I wish.
I know you don't say
No, trust
that.
me, I wish. But it's usually like my brother. Because obviously I know he doesn't have any ill intentions, but he does say things that kind of put me off a lot of what I'm doing, and sometimes I do think, should I not just do this anymore? Because when you're if you really look in depth with Islam, like, it does tell you it's nothing bad. I actually agree with it. I agree with everything Islam is saying, and I agree that there are some things that I do wrong, but sometimes I find it as like an addiction. Like, you know what I mean? This is an addiction.
It's a healthy one though,
It's
right?
a healthy
Yeah.
addiction, don't get me wrong. But it depends, because it's an addiction where it's kind of like I'm kind of forgetting. Sometimes I kind of forget my main goal in life. And my main goal in this life as a Muslim is to go heaven, okay? And just to follow, basically follow God and all his rules and everything. And it's been very tough. There has been a lot of setbacks. There's been a lot of difficulties. And when people do talk to me about it, I don't say, like go away or anything. I literally take it into account and I say, I'm trying. I'm trying. Everyone has their own journey. and you should know. And I really do believe that this is something all women should take part in. But there's nothing. It's not like I started like showing my whole body, like skin, my hair, or anything in public. Have I? It's like I'm still there. Like I haven't let boxing take away my whole identity. Do you get me?
Yeah.
So before boxing, I had a life, and that life is still there, and it will always still be there. Like we said earlier, we have different goals in life. You can have multiple goals that you're trying to do at the same time, but when having that, there's a risk, and having multiple goals at the same time, the risk is that you will set back at some of those long-term goals.
I want to go back to something you were talking about a bit earlier, because I want to get your opinion on something that like a quote I kind of made up, whatever, and that being, the mind of the gullible or the mind of the naive should not be neglected mind. So it's like, let's say for example, I'm telling you about boxing, or actually not boxing, I know about boxing. I'm telling you about something that you're a professional at and I don't know nothing about. That me talking should not be turned down. It shouldn't be a thing where, oh, you know nothing about this, or you shouldn't be talking about it. That the mind of the gullible should be listened to, because the mind of the gullible and the mind of the naive is valuable. It is a whole new perspective that is not clouded at all. Because people tend to be clouded by experience, right? Like when you go through certain things, your vision is clouded, because it's like you go for experience and you say, cool, because the experience, I'm not going to do this certain thing again because it's going to have this result. But the mind of the gullible hasn't had that experience. Therefore, their vision and their perspective is not clouded. So when they speak, yeah, a lot of what they say might be, okay, yeah, this is BS. I'm not going to listen to you say this thing. But there's so many small gems in what they say that is so valuable. And that's why I don't know. I feel like, obviously I want to hear your opinions on that. But like,
so you're saying that people who
I don't know what you're saying at all.
No, so-
I think I got the mind of the gullible. I don't know what he's saying.
I know. I think he's trying to say that. Even
I got another monologue explaining what.
Nah, do you know what it is? Yeah. Okay, go on. You say your thing.
I think you're trying to say that people who don't know much about basically your life or what your goals are, like, do you have a say? Do you have a point?
Do have a say? Is just they just should be turned down completely.
But why is that?
Because life is about perspective, isn't it? Like, two people can look at the same thing and have a different opinion on it, and doesn't matter.
What happens if the person is like narcissistic and like absolutely?
Then you can make that judgment for yourself. But I just feel like those who don't know should not be turned down completely. Should not be shut down. I'm not going to tell someone who knows nothing about videos to shut up. I'm going to listen to what they have to say, and I'm going to look for the value in what they say, because there will be some type of value in what they say. Majority of it will be BS. Don't get me wrong. Because if you know nothing about science, then not everything you say is going to be facts. But some of what they say will be truth, or some of what they say will be, I can find help in it for myself and value in it. You understand?
Yeah, I guess it just comes back to it kind of comes back to like you get to choose on, like how many people's views you want to listen to. You can't, it's almost like people can't listen to everyone's opinions all the time, because I don't think it's feasible to kind of fit in for everyone, what I'm trying to say. So I feel like sometimes, like for me, I just make sure that people I care about, I listen to them. And for me, that's enough. Because if I start listening to every single person, then it's not going to make any sense. Because it's going back to the perspective thing. Everyone's going to have a different kind of view and stuff.
I think the reason why I have this mindset is because I work with kids, innit? So kids have a very gullible perspective on life. They have a very naive perspective. They think life is very simple and it's all black and white. And it took me a while, but I realized, wait, life is actually simple. Life is actually black and white. Like, they don't look at it from a philosophical perspective. I do, but that me thinking and understanding how simple life is because of them, because they have that gullible mind and that naive perspective, and they're obviously not as deep as I'll think about it, but it started from them. So now I honestly feel like life is simple as a result of being around the naive.
Then in fact, I agree with what Leo was saying, that it kind of depends on the person.
Yeah.
If you value the person and care about the person, you care about the kids, that's why you actually take it into account. But if a random person, let's say online, like DM'd you on Instagram and then started chatting the most, you're gonna take their
That's what I'm
opinion
saying.
to
That's what
matter.
85, 95, maybe 99% of the stuff that a gullible person will say might be BS. I'm not turning that down completely. But my problem is when people shut down someone that doesn't know nothing completely. When they say you are not allowed to say anything because you don't know nothing. That's not right to me. I think everyone should have, obviously you got the whole freedom of speech thing. Everyone should speak whether you know or not. And then I have the choice and the freedom to look at everything you just said and pick out what I want. And if I want to pick out nothing, that's fine. But at least I listened to it. At least I chose.
But they also have the choice not to listen to, they don't. So it's almost like the same way we have a choice to listen to it, the people don't have the choice not to listen to it, Like at the end of the day, it's like for you, it might not be right, but for them, it might work for them, I think everyone's kind of slightly different. Just going back to the whole point of like, it's all about perspective. And like I think just going back to the point of like, I think in life, as long as something makes you happy, it doesn't affect other people too much. And it's adding value, then I think that's the most important thing.
Exactly. And if you know that listening to that person, the naive, the man or the gullible, if you think you would actually kind of help them, because in fact what I do is when someone tells me their opinion that I think is BS, I give them my opinion, and majority of the time it changes because they see, okay, this is it. And I like to do that. I like to change people's perspectives in a positive way. Like, I want to get them out of the box, and it has helped. And that's why I'm not going to completely shut them off. I'm not going to completely say, oh, that's BS, that's BS. I don't think anything they say is BS. I agree with you there, Aladdin. But I would eventually, like, in a way, tell my views and my perspectives as well as they are. And then we can kind of finally have, like, a discussion about it. If they agree or not agree. If they don't agree and they don't listen to what I'm saying, okay, cool, you're lost.
Yeah. It's kind
I
of
know
like,
I know more than you.
It's kind of like the government where they're doing that thing in House of Commons, and they just basically, none of them are listening to each other.
Yeah.
And they're shutting each other down.
Literally.
It's just a waste of time. I don't watch that shit, but once in a while I see clips here and there. Cool. Let's change the direction a little bit. How do you, actually, I'm not going to ask you this question. I'm going to ask you something completely off. If you won the lottery, what would you do with the money?
Wow.
I thought you used to ask this question. Remember you used to ask that question of if you walked out this gym right now and you found 10,000 pounds on the floor, what would you do with it?
Yeah.
But that's in interviews. I think this is different because I can't say I'm gonna still stay at Vital for Peace.
No, this is slightly different, anyways. But yeah, most people lie about that.
What I'll do? How much is the money?
Let's say you want 50 mil.
50 million.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I would invest that into something that would get me more money.
Cryptocurrencies.
But not crypto or like or even like houses and like lettings and all that sort, but don't get me wrong, I'm gonna put all 50. I put probably some money to that, and then I think majority will go to charity. I do heavily believe in charity. I do believe that if you do a good deed, you would get more back. I do believe in that heavily. So I'll probably do that, and I'll probably I would say buy myself a car, but I don't even have a driving license.
With that money, you can probably buy a driving license without even having to do the test.
Can I do that? Then I'll do that.
No, you better do the test because
But I'll be honest, I actually don't know what I'll do. I haven't exactly thought about it. But it's definitely give money to my parents and my family, and like move to a better place, bigger space, so they can live happy, like live good, and then invest it to make more money. So then I could just use that for, let's say, family, kids, holidays. Oh, definitely holidays. I'll probably travel around the world.
Would you get out? Would you actually 50 million is enough to start a new life? So would you go to a rainforest, build a house made of wood and whatnot, and just live
I'd
there?
love to do that. I went camping in it this weekend, and I swear to you, even though I was living in a tent and it was uncomfortable, I loved it. Like it was so good to smell fresh air. It was so good to see just so many trees and grass and bushes, and it just felt amazing. The air smelled great, and I was like, you know what? I'll be so happy to, in a way, get out of the city life. And especially when you have 50 mil, you can do that. A lot of people don't do that because they need to make an income, right?
Yeah.
And all the income is happening in the city, unless unless you can find a job outside. And even jobs are like outside city areas, you don't tend to get much money from it because depending on the area that you live in, your income differs. Because London is very expensive, your income is kind of a bit more higher. But if the more outer you go, the less annual income you'll be getting.
Yeah, that's true.
So I definitely would do that. I would definitely do that.
Well, you're gonna do that. You know those videos that you watch at like 4 a.m. of people building houses out of mud and painting as well. We're gonna do that, innit?
I would love to do that. I would love to do it. I would love to create my own house. I love to. Like, when I mean I would give a lot to charity, I would literally build like houses like in areas that are extremely poor. I would love to do that. I would love to create mosques in poor countries, like nearby in the village. I would like to give more food, more clothing to especially people from not just back home, but also other countries. I would love to do that. I would literally go there, volunteer, and just give money to. I would love to do that. You know, them people who go to other countries and like build a school, you know, stay there for a few months.
Do you think you can do that without having 50 mil? Like,
I think you could do that, definitely. But it would be more techie because like
it'll be easier if you had the money.
It would be easier when you had the money. And you can't just drop everything in London, can you? And just run off and just do this. A lot of people who do that, at least they planned it out for a very long time. They saved up for a very long time.
I think Leo said it best in was it I was either Abdul or Sabir or even Jacob. You said, what did you say? 1 second. What he says? He said, I do things because I enjoy it, not for the money. But if money comes, that's good because I can do more things with it. Yeah. That basically sums up life in London. Like, if you truly value your time.
That sounds like something Abdul would say. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but he said it. So.
Oh, Leo.
Yeah, Leo said it. Yeah. But like that kind of sums up London. Innit? Like, if you truly value your time and truly value your life, truly value whatever, you do things not for money but for enjoyment. But you understand that money makes things more easier. And more whatever. Like even me, I always tell people, I don't value money, but I understand the value of money, which is why I work. You know, like money's always a secondary to anything and everything I do, but I still have to work because I live in the city and I understand how much money is worth, kind of thing, innit?
How much money is worth?
That's a great question.
But it kind of depends, you know. Like, what would you do if you had 50 mil?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I'll buy a GH5. I'll buy a red camera. I'll buy an Arri Alexa camera. I'll buy some Arri. No. I don't know. Is this money? I want to be that kind of guy that I'll say, I'll just dash it in a school or something, and say people scramble kind of thing. You know, scramble. I'll say scramble and all that. I don't know. It's just,
I think he secretly enjoys the struggle. So I don't actually think he wants.
I think he cares about the struggle. Actually,
I actually think he wants.
I value my progression, and if I need to struggle to progress, then I enjoy the struggle.
Yeah, I feel like even if I had 50 mil, I feel like I still might actually live my normal day life. Like I just probably keep it in my bank account and just continue like grinding, doing everything. Still stay here, train, maybe put like.
Would you still work though?
Work. I think I will, you know, because like I do value money a lot. I valued money since a young age. I valued it a lot. Like my parents taught us to value money so much, to the point that, you know how it was a miracle. It was a gift. I was so happy to receive £1 in a week when I was 10, right? At the same time, I had family whose like parents would give them at least a £5, give a £10. I was so happy when I never even asked my parents, can I buy a bar of chocolate? When I did, it was like
guilt.
I felt so guilt. Like I felt so much guilt. I hated it. And then it's like that's why I started working kind of young. I think from like 15, 16, I started working, you know, and from that I used my luxuries. I used my money for the luxuries. Do you get me? I just felt I value money so much that it's like I'm so stingy for myself.
Does money value you?
I don't don't know, because it just comes and goes for me. It's like, go away. I don't like you.
You know what I love so much about living in the ghetto and living in like areas like not so expensive areas, is that we go to these places. Like Zeno told me this, like he didn't tell me to help me kind of realize this, that I might go to Kennington Film Studio and do something lit there, or I might go to Northwest London and do like a lit shoot in some expensive wherever. Or, but at the end of the day, I come home to my 3-bedroom flat, hug my mum, talk to my sisters, go to my tired bathroom, wash. You know what I'm saying? Like, despite going to all these amazing places and hiring all these expensive.
I told you, you love the struggle, innit?
I just go home, and but it humbles me, innit? It humbles me so much. And even like, I was talking to someone else about it, and he was telling me how I would like, and I was telling him how like the way you can sell a house to someone, not by saying, oh, look at this view, or look at this bedroom, or look at this. You say it convinces them that their heart belongs there. That's how you sell a house. Because I can go to even when I was filming Hot Kitchen. You've seen the Hot Kitchen set, maybe not in IRL, but you've seen it as well. You've seen the Hot Kitchen set, and upon first glance, you look at it and think, I would love to live there. Like that's a sick kitchen, that's a sick living room, that's whatever. But it's my heart there. You know what I'm saying? Like that's.
But you can build your heart there, but that depends on you.
But I think it's also there's something about being excited to see something different. When you're seeing something completely new that you're not used to, and you think it's better than what you're used to, but sometimes it's not. It's about, again, it's just going back to like the whole thing of like how do we like look at things,
Yeah.
But that's the valuable thing that I'm talking about. Like after seeing all these amazing things, you go back home at the end of the day, and this home isn't luxury, isn't flashy, is mediocre, is the ghetto per se, but you're comfortable, and you're loved there, and you enjoy that space. Like, how long would I last in a apartment in central London? Or I wouldn't last that long because my heart isn't there, and I'm not humble. And going back to home humbles you.
Can you take your heart there?
I don't think it would be very, very. It would be taking, man. I don't know, because you're born and raised in the ghetto, so it makes sense why like you love living there.
Do you know what? Yeah, every single time I've been abroad, yeah, the best time I had in different countries is when I went to the ghetto part of the country, and you know what's really interesting? Yeah, because that's I think when we were doing the podcast with Black Man, I think we spoke about that as well. And I remember this. It's basically like I haven't been to that many like ghettos in different countries because I don't travel too much. But because obviously I had a couple of friends in different parts of the countries and so on. Every time I went there, I just felt like the essence of people is always in the struggle. Of like the realness, all these other like city parts of like people driving certain cars and whatever, that doesn't feel like real life to me. I'm not saying people that are successful they don't have struggles. I'm not saying that. I just feel like people that are living in the struggle, who are struggling more with like bigger things in life and stuff, and people who are living, they've got money and stuff and they have like different types of struggles. I just feel like there's two different, lifestyles really and ways of living life.
You said in who did you say on one of the previous podcasts? I can't remember who it was, but you said that if life was easy, it wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And that showcases that. Not to say that people that live less luxurious lives have better lives, but living with struggle adds more value to your life. And that way, everything you do is somewhat better than if you grew up with a silver spoon.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I feel like living in a life of struggle teaches you a lot more things about reality. Like when you live in a city life, yeah, cool. Your parents may have the struggles, yeah, but the kids, they won't see shit. They won't see nothing. They will literally see the good parts. Oh, look, I got food on the table. I live in such a nice house. I have my own room. This, that. They just see that part till they experience it themselves. And in fact, I feel like they struggle the most in the future because they haven't experienced it at such a young age. Those people who still struggle from such a young age, they're more grateful in life, way more grateful in life, and they actually see more value in life than those who literally have had the best life, best childhood ever, never seen no one struggle, never seen parents struggle. And you know what, I would say it's unfair, but if I had to pick, I think living in a struggled environment brings more value to me and brings more to me than if I ever lived in a place that was just full of fame, rich people.
Or maybe you just don't know because we haven't lived that lifestyle yet.
You don't know, but I'm assuming. But
you know that line, if you don't hear, you must feel.
I can feel it.
That's thing, like that's generally said as like, oh, if you don't listen, you will feel it. Like it will hurt you, that kind of thing, innit? But really, truly, look at it from a different perspective. I don't want to listen. I want to feel, because there's more value in that feeling. I don't want to just listen to my parents tell me a story about how they had to climb a whole mountain just to go to school and anything like that. I want to experience that mountain climb just to go to school. That way I can.
But what happened to the whole thing of like in the mind of naive and listen to everyone?
No.
I don't want to listen to that no more.
No, I listen to it. I listen, but like, there's more value in the experience, right? Like, I feel like you both agree when I say there's more value in experience than there is in story.
Yeah,
that's a clip for Insta.
I feel like, yeah, cool. But you know, a lot of people are like, I wish I had this. I wish I had a really good childhood. I wish I was able to do this when I was younger. I wish, like my parents say that. My parents say that all the time. Like, I wish I was able to do this. I wish I was able to do that. Like I lived in a house of struggle. I lived with like in a flat with like 6 siblings. All that. Yeah, it was difficult. But without those experiences, you'll never become who you are now. You wouldn't. In fact, you'll probably be a whole different person. You know. You value more things in life. You treat people differently, you know, depending on your values and perspectives of life. You treat people differently.
You're grateful. You turn what your life experience was into something that can, you know, like push you further in life.
100.
Yeah, I love that. So just to check out, the time went really quick actually. So yeah, we asked this question every single guest. If you had 8 billion people listen to you say one thing, what would it be?
Okay. 800 billion people.
No, eight. So.
And I know it doesn't matter how many people.
I don't know why I always say 8 billion. It's basically if you had the whole world listening to you say one thing, what would it be?
I would say. There's a lot of things I want to say, but I don't know what to say. What do
you want to tell people? Like one thing you want to tell people?
I want to tell people like stop being naive, stop being selfish. Everyone has their own life. Everyone has their own life that you don't know about. So stop making judgments. Stop thinking I am better than this person. I am this, I am that, because you're not. You don't know anybody else's experiences in life. You don't know, literally. You probably think a 5-year-old, oh, they're living the best life ever. And in school, they're annoying. They're a pain in the ass. No joke. Yeah, and you're like, oh, this guy's so annoying. But you don't know their struggles. Do you get where I'm coming from? Like, I feel like I just want a world where there's no judgment, you know? And there's no hate. I just want peace and love. I know it sounds so like basic.
No, I love that.
I feel like
basic's the best.
It's needed, especially for everything that we go through. And you know what? Someone told me that don't feel crap about being nice. Being nice, being too nice isn't a problem. That should be the norm. They need to be less of an asshole. Do you get where I'm coming from? Why?
It's about people that receive it rather than the person that's given. Yeah.
Why is being too nice a problem? Why is being too nice in this society an issue?
That's powerful.
Too nice should be the norm. No cap. It should be the norm.
No do-rag. No do-rag. Anything you want to promote?
I'll be like, follow my Instagram at athenx.b. That's what I'll say. And I'll say if you guys ever want to like talk or chat or DM me, I'm very open into new conversations with new people.
So you're to be like a future therapist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if anyone
and a future world champion.
Yeah, hopefully.
In boxing. And unless like you said, 2 things are clashing sometimes. So yeah. Is that it?
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.